Doisim, Mishpechaisam, Beis Avoisam, and then we go on and we read all this yichus, all this yichus. We have lots of confusion when it comes to yichus. We know that there's all these nice cliches that people like to throw around. You know, yichus is a lot of zeros. It all depends if you put a 1 in front of it. It's all true. It's all true. You're either one king grace a 0 or you're a billion, a trillion. It's all true. But we see the Torah does make a big asik out of yichus. And the Torah gives a long, long list over here to be miyaches us and to show us where we come from. What exactly is this Indian over here? And what is this? Why is this the starting point of Sefer Bamidbar, Parshas Bamidbar specifically? You know, there's a Maisa with the Beis Halevi. Beis Halevi, one of his sons, got a tremendous dowry, a tremendous nedunya. And the Beis Halevi noticed that his son was becoming a little bit balgaiva about it. It was God, it wasn't Reb Chaim, but it was becoming a little bit balgaiva about his grace of dowry, like as if he was besser a mensch, because he was getting a very, very nice nedunya, a nice dowry. So Beis Halevi, brisker yid, Rabbi say. So Beis Halevi, he told his son, you should know that don't think that the dowry, that the nedunya came because of you. Don't think that they're giving you the nedunya because 3,000 rubles because of you. They're giving it to you because of me, because I'm the Beis Halevi. That's why you're getting such a dowry. So the son of the Beis Brisker Cup, the son of the Beis Halevi, said to the Beis Halevi, no, it's not shaykh. If it would be because of you, then they would give much, much more. So it has to be that the reason that they're giving this dowry is because of me. If it was the Beis Halevi, they'd be giving 5,000 rubles, not that 3,000 rubles. It must be that it's because of me. So the Beis Halevi on the spot told him, no, you should realize, Bemis, it was supposed to be 5,000 rubles. But when they saw who my son was, so they knocked it down another 2,000 rubles. In other words, you have to keep in mind where you're coming from. We do have to, but on the other hand, we can't let the yichus, we can't let it go to our head. Person has yichus, and you can't, but on the other hand, Klal Yisrael, we have to realize where we're coming from. And it's very important. The person has to always connect himself to where he's coming from. And person thinks to himself, well, I'm about tshuva, not talking to me. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the Klaliest general hergish that Klal Yisrael are coming from the most greatest people that ever walked the face of this earth. Any one of us is coming not just as far back as Avraham Avinu, which was clearly the greatest people that walked the face of this earth. Rabbi Yosef Leib Bloch used to say, Muridik Yisai, which I think is a Gewaldika Hagdama. It's called the Maril, and tells it's a Gewaldik Hagdama to Sefer Bamidbar in general. He used to say that a lot of times the Torah tells us the faults of our Zaydas. We say, Aval anachnu v'aseinu chatanu. And the Torah makes a very big asik to talk about the faults and the mistakes of the greatest people that walked the face of this earth, whether it was Kivyachol, the seemingly on their madregas, the toyasim that we see. It's sometimes in a certain Tana, sometimes in a Navi, sometimes in a this. He tells us that the Torah is teaching us a tremendous lesson. The lesson is that yes, they were great people. And yes, these great people, that's where you're coming from. And you know what? They could also have a fault. They could also, and they get right back up. Yeah. So the yichus is also to teach us that you can have people that were great people. And we're coming from those great people. And then they had a fall, and afal piken, when we talk about those great people, there's no blemish. They're the greatest people that ever, in the diktuk, in the mashu of what they did, the greater pictures, they remain as great as they always were. And that's really the emes what all of Sefer Bamidbar is all about. Sefer Bamidbar is about great people, great opportunities, and sometimes lost opportunities. Great people, great responsibilities, great expectations of such great people, and the faults, but they still remain called the Dor Hadeya. We still call them the Dor Hadeya. There are a lot of things that go on over here, which the Torah magnifies. The Torah looks at the great people with a magnifying glass. And this is something that we have to realize constantly, that of the awesome, awesome potential. That's why Bamidbar comes before Shavuos B'dafka. And the Gemara says this already, because we have to realize the awesome potential. The Torah starts out over here about the yichus and the awesome potential. And I see this all the time. I always see a Talmud, this guy, you look at him, he could be something unbelievable. And sometimes he becomes mamish fakert. They say a maisa with the Alta Mislabotka. I hope I don't... They say that the Alta Slabotka said about 2 Talmidim. He said, these 2 Talmidim, both of them could either be the two big Rishayim of the door, or they could be the two big tzaddikim of the door, or one of them could be a Rasha and one of them could be a tzaddik. And if you ask me, I think that one's going to wind up being the Rasha and that one's going to be the tzaddik. And they say that one of them was Rav Hutner Zecher Tzaddik Livracha. That Rav Hutner, he saw in Rav Hutner a koyach, that Rav Hutner, he could have used that same exact koyach, and Rabbi say, there's absolutely no pachad to say over this story. I have no pachad from all the hate mail from Chaim Berlin, because if you understand what the godless is of Rav Hutner after hearing such a story, the Alter looked at him and said, that person, he could be the Rosh Hador. And we'll never know if the one that Rav Hutner said, that the Alter said, I think the one that's going to be the Rasha, we'll never know if he thought it would be Rav Hutner. But he saw in Rav Hutner such a koyach that this person, if it's going to be used improperly, look what he could become. But when it was used properly, Rabbi Sai, he became the Gadol Hador. Look at that koyach. There's an atom bomb of potential that could be so covered up. The other one, a Rasha Merusha. He became one of the great Rishayim. And it was so much potential that was under there. You know, it's rare that I say over a story twice back to back, especially because I know this stuff goes on any time, but I just said a story in the last year. And I see that Rabbi Grossman is here, and the story warms my heart. It'll warm yours also. This morning, I accidentally pressed the wrong button I was using the rodent over here, and I accidentally, when I was in the settings, I accidentally pressed the bright, and I turned off bright. I'm looking at my computer screen, and it's pitch black. It was pitch black. It was like those country roads, pitch black, you know. And I'm sitting here, and what does the Ibn Chacham do? What do I do at this point? I say, I know what I should do. I should probably turn off the computer. Like, that was the dumbest thing that you could do. When you turn off the computer, so now when you turn it back on, there's a password to get in. So now I can't. Now what? Now where do I go? And I started saying Tehillim, nothing was working. Tehillim didn't work. I started calling. If Danny Katzman, you'll see that you got a missed call from me. Rabbi Slansky had a missed call from me. And Rabbi Grossman, you picked up. You were the third. And I go, what do I do? What do I do? The screen is pitch black. And I have under here, I was in the middle of sending an email to somebody. I know how to say those words now, Rabbi Sai. Right? It was actually to my wife. I was saying hi. You see, I know how to use a computer now. But you know, I had so much information over here. This shiurim over here, I was trying to send out a shir that I'm giving live on Sunday, which I sent out today. Interesting. But Al Kapanim, I had so much going on behind this computer screen, and now it's all black. And it's all this incredible potential. There's so much potential over here. And it's all pitch black. And all you do is I press one button, which got on my screen as F12. I explained to Manny, that's all you do. You just press the button F12 and it goes into brightness, and that's how it works. It's a good thing that you guys are listening to this shir. Balkapanim, I turned one button and all the light comes back. But you can see that you can have something that it's pitch black, and there's so much behind it, right? Rabbi said, well, we know how much good a person could do behind the computer screen. How much bad he could do, we definitely know. But we know behind there all the shiurim, thousands, millions, and billions of hours of shiurim that he could listen to, and it's all gone. And it's all pitch black, and he can't access any of it until he presses that one button. That's what we are, Rabbi Sai. That's the potential of every single Jew. If he presses the right button, the potential could be absolutely enormous, incredible. There are some people, they love information. They'll use the same exact button and they'll expose themselves to every stupid information in this world that ever existed, every non-important bit of data, and he knows everything about nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then you have another person with the same finger lock. He's going to press the button and expose himself to the greatest treasure of nitzchias in this world. He presses a button. He opens up an Oitzer Chachma, and he's opened up to 85,000 svarim, all the Torah that you can imagine. Everything. It's the same thing in the Yiddish and the Neshama, Rabbi Isai. You have one person, he unleashes, when he davens, he unleashes within him tefillah that came all the way back from the Avis. And we're all going to daven anyway, so what's the difference? And we're all going to come to the Seder, we're all going to go to the learning, and everybody's going to do that chesed, and everybody's going to call up that parent and say good Shabbos. But there's one way that he's going to unleash within him incredible, awesome potential, awesome koyach. And then he's connected to the obvious, he's connected to his yichus. And then there's another person that he's going to just let all that go away. That's Sefer Bamidbar. Sefer Bamidbar starts out telling us the lesson. You're miyuches. You have so much potential inside you. Not that that should get to your head and let the person sit back and relax. Look what I have coming to him. Adarabba, it's supposed to be mechayev the person, and that he should steig, and they should steig in davening, and steig in learning, and steig in his chesed, and his emunah, in every which way. You're coming from illustrious people that were the greatest people that ever walked the face of this earth. Anybody that knows of those Zaydas, and everybody knows of the Avraham and the Yitzchak and Yankov, that has to be mechayev him. That has to be mechayev him to unleash that moridika potential. And Bez Hashem, when we unleash that moridika potential, that is the emes ha'achana for Kabbalas HaTorah. The emes ha'achana for Kabbalas HaTorah, by side, is when a person realizes what he is. When he realizes what he is, so then he's opened up to the whole world. Then you get everything can come in, all the Torah can come in, all the ahava for Torah can come in. Hashem, starting a new month, Rabbi Isai, halavai, this month, Rabbi Isai, we'll say Dailut Sarasenu, and we're starting Rosh Chodesh Sivan. We know that Sfiras HaOmer in general is times that are difficult times for Klal Yisrael. And this Sfiras HaOmer was no different. It was also very difficult times for Klal Yisrael. But we know that now starts the week of the Chasana. And now, you know what a house is on the week of the Chasana? I remember on the week of my daughter's Chasana, it's a different house. On the week of the Chasana, everything is going toward the chuppah. Now a person does his hashkafa, his attitude, the whole das should be, we're going to the chuppah, we're going to the chuppah. The attitude when you're going to the chuppah is you're going to act differently. A person on the week before the chuppah, he's a bit more careful. He doesn't want to wind up in a hospital on Erev the chuppah. He's a bit more careful in his eyes. He's a bit more careful in his ears. He's a bit more careful in what he says. He's going to the chuppah with who's he going to the chuppah? He's going to the chuppah with the Heilige Torah. He wants to go and be able to live with Shalom Bayis with the Torah Kedosha. He wants to live together with the Rebbeinu Shalom, the Emes and the Chutin, together with the Torah. So that's Mechayev the week before the chuppah. It's Mechayev him. He needs the Chas and Shmuzim this week, Rabbi Isai. He has to make sure he gets the Chas and Shmuzim. How am I going to live together with Shalom Bayis with the Heilige Torah? And with that, if he goes in with this attitude, it'll be an emesa, a shleishis yimek bala, and with that will be zeicha to be makabel the Torah bahava, and will be zeicha that the Rebbeinu Shalom shall see our ritzaynus, and I'll bring the geula b'mheira b'yameinu amen. Shabbos Rabbi Isai.